Welcome to Topic A, everyone. I'm your host, Gary Perna. This week on Topic A, I'm joined by the newly appointed Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Craig Butler. In his first sit-down television interview, we're going to talk about the goals for the Hazleton Area School District for the next year and what he's really passionate about. And you'll get to meet Dr. Craig Butler right here and only here on WYLN when we come back on Topic A.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
Hey everyone, want some close-to-home fun? Join the Keystone Active Zone Passport program to create your own backyard adventure exploring parks, trails, and events. It's fun, easy, and it's free. This year's Passport has more than 30 stops. Enjoy Riverfest in Wilkes-Barre and Pittston. Discover the D&L Trail and more. Register at kazpassport.org. Visit as many stops as you want. Each stop has a question. Find the answers and log them in on the website. Start exploring today.
Penn State is right here in the Hazleton area.
We're top ranked by corporate recruiters.
We have 4-year degrees, so you can finish here or at another Penn State campus.
There's new scholarship money available.
And there's no application fee when you visit here.
Penn State Hazleton.
Download your application fee waiver at psu.edu/visit-hazleton.
WYLN was the first news station to speak with the newly elected Superintendent of Schools for the Hazleton Area School District, Dr. Craig Butler. WYLN was also on Alter and 4th Streets in Hazleton as police were investigating a murder that the Chief of Police called an execution. When the Hazleton area class of 2015 received their diplomas, WYLN broadcast the graduation live. WYLN News live at 5:30 and 10. We're your local network.
And welcome back to Topic A, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. I'm very proud to be joined by the new Superintendent of Schools for the Hazleton Area School District, Dr. Craig Butler. And Dr. Butler, thank you for coming on and your first sit-down television interview with us. So congratulations and welcome.
Thank you, Gary. It's a pleasure to be here and excited about some things we're really focusing on in the coming year in the Hazleton Area School District.
This has been a long road. There was a very rigorous and very public selection process for the new superintendent of schools, something really we haven't seen before ever. You were interviewed by students, by teachers, faculty, members of the public, the school board. So what was that experience like leading up to the appointment?
Gary, that was both exhausting and exhilarating. I really commend the board for a very open, transparent, professionally handled process. I think it gave every stakeholder in the district an opportunity to see the candidates up close and personal. And it gave us, really, the candidates, an opportunity to hear the issues that are out there amongst the stakeholders in the school district. And I think I had a pretty good idea of what those were going in, but it was educational for me too. And I think it absolutely gave those folks that had a vested interest in the district an opportunity to look at the candidates and make the best decision.
Now, I know you've been the assistant superintendent for 2 years before being appointed to the superintendent position, and you hit the ground running, literally with facing a budget deficit, making some changes coming into the next school year. And one of the big things that I want to first talk about was sending everything home in both English and in Spanish. There were some issues at school board meetings I was listening to. Well, parents weren't understanding something because they were a Spanish-speaking household and they were only getting it in English. By doing that, you're reaching out to everyone so they get every piece of information possible. So talk about why it was important to do that and transition that into the district.
Gary, I think one of the deficits in the district in my past 2 years here has been communication. Communication with parents, communication with the community at large. I think we need to do a better job of embracing the cultural diversity that we have in the school district, and one way of doing that is by increasing communication. Right. Sure, we would like all of our stakeholders to be fluent in English and really embrace the English language, but the reality is our community is such that we do have a lot of, the Hispanic influence is ever present. And we need to acknowledge that, embrace that, and in the school district, if that requires us to put forth extra energy to communicate in writing and with interpreters when necessary, which will inevitably be often,
right.
that is really a way of us embracing the community. It's a way of us showing our understanding of the language barrier in some cases. And ultimately, it's going to help our students, help our staff, and really just increase not only our communication, but perhaps also our performance and the effectiveness of the overall school system.
Now, I know a lot of the last, I believe, 2 or 3 school board meetings that I had covered, the district went out and bought the Rosetta Stone booklets and CDs for the teachers and all to become more bilingual, and the school board commended them for taking that step to be able to communicate with their students in ways they couldn't do before. So by opening that door up, that really helps the teachers be able to communicate more with their students as well.
It really does, Gary, and honestly, we have to look at it realistically. To learn a language takes years, and really the best way to do that is an immersion in the culture, in the language itself. However, I'm inspired and impressed by, we have over 300 faculty and staff members who have embraced the Rosetta Stone program. They're willing to at least take a gigantic step in learning conversational Spanish, which again will help our effectiveness in classroom, will increase our ability to communicate. And I think our Spanish-speaking students and parents, again, recognize that we're trying to make a concerted effort here to bridge the communication gap. And it's not getting any easier as we move forward. They're trying to learn our language, so to speak, English. I think we can show a reciprocal effort to meet them halfway. And again, I'm impressed with our staff, faculty and staff, who have stepped forward in this regard.
And the English as a second language programs in the district, some of that is funded federally and state with grants and stuff like that. But also it is used part of the budget as well, and that kind of segues into the next thing, the budget. It's no secret that the Hazleton Area School District is facing an almost $10 million budget. So coming in to be the new superintendent and seeing some of the decisions that are going to have to be made of where we're going to be able to do things and how to go with it. The business department, as we've heard on the news, is cutting where they can and doing as much as it can to move stuff around to still make the priority the children and the students and letting them learn. So as superintendent, what has been your role right now in seeing that budget and trying to shrink that deficit?
Gary, this is a significant challenge for us. I really want to give our school directors and Mr. Krasansky and Mr. Reba a lot of credit for a concentrated effort to work together collaboratively to bridge this seems like an insurmountable budget deficit. We are really attacking it from a multi-pronged approach. We're looking for some help from the state, obviously, Governor Wolf's budget. We've looked in depth at reducing staff, faculty and staff, where we can without impacting quality of education and without enlarging our class sizes to the point where the quality of education in the classroom suffers. So the attrition model, we're using that as well. There might be some move on part of the school directors to impact taxes to a very slight degree. That's yet to be determined. And it's not going to be a one-year solution.
Right.
This is going to be, as far as a reduction in staff and reducing through attrition, where it doesn't impact students. We're thinking of the students in the middle of what I call a concentric circle.
Right.
They're the key. They're the folks that, the students are number one priority. So any cuts that we make need to be as far away from the students as possible,
right,
with the least amount of impact on them. So it's a big challenge, Gary, for us, but I think we're making great strides. It is the number one priority as we go through the summer.
All right, well, before I go on, I want to take a break. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the budget and some of the plans and goals moving forward in the Hazelton Area School District, and what they may be. You want to stay with us here, everyone. You're watching Topic A only on WYLN.
The Beer Garage, 202 East Diamond Avenue in Hazelton. More than just beer. Coffee, all sizes, only $1. Get your lottery tickets here, too. Stop in today. The Beer Garage in Hazelton.
Well, I'll never forget it. 1 minute, we were talking about going to the movies, and the next, Maggie could barely speak. It was a stroke. I thought I was going to lose her. But I never saw doctors work so fast. Anyway, she's coming home tomorrow. I just hope she doesn't yell at me for killing all the plants.
Family owned and operated, the experienced professionals at Lehigh Tire have served the residents of the greater Hazelton area for over 55 years. From our full line of passenger, light truck, and commercial tires to our automotive services, including tune-ups, inspections, oil changes, and alignments.
Every time I've ever done business here, they've been very polite, straightforward, and the job gets done quickly and right.
Find the right tire for the right price today at Lehigh Tire.
We're looking for a dealer that will take the time to get to know our needs.
And hook me up with something that has some all-wheel drive and some power. Bam!
And what will you be using the car for primarily?
Cycling, snowboarding, kayaking, you know.
Gardening, antiquing, and commuting to work.
I've got just the car.
Lease a 2015 Forester 2.5 ICVT for only $222 per month from Fairway Subaru in Hazel Township.
The right car.
The right price.
The right dealer. Fairway Subaru.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
At Whitetail Preserve, they pride themselves with giving their guests 5-star service. They are now open for lunch 6 days a week and offer limited delivery service for lunch to businesses in Cunningham, Valmont, and Humboldt Industrial Park. Call them at 570-384-2314. Off the Beaten Path and discover the Pennsylvania you never knew existed on WYLN TV 35.
And welcome back, everyone. And I'm joined by Dr. Craig Butler, the Superintendent of Schools for the Hazelton Area School District. And before the break, we were talking about the budget. And Dr. Butler, you said you're trying to keep the cuts away from the students as much as possible. Some of the, most recently, when we did a story with concerning the budget, we were looking at cutting some maybe extra stuff that the district could function without. And one of those things that was mentioned was possibly not appointing another assistant superintendent at the time, waiting to see where the money from the governor comes in. Unfortunately, you guys have to pass a budget before the governor's budget is passed, so you kind of don't know what you're getting. From your point of view, where do you think that we can see maybe some of the give and pull with the district that's not raising a lot of taxes on, you know, the elderly and the property owners in our district, because, you know, we have a very large elderly population here.
Yes. Well, Gary, again, let me preface my comments by saying things such as materials, resources, books, consumables, those are the sorts of things that we're not even looking at as far as cuts that would directly affect the classroom. Class size, we're being very careful of that. The board has looked at and will probably approve this Thursday night a slight increase in class size for grades 5 through 8. Otherwise, we kept grades K through 4 as being critical grade levels for that early learning and development of our children, class size to be stable at that level. We are scrutinizing every single open position that we have via either retirements or resignations. And again, we're looking at those closely relative to replacing or not replacing. We have 2 critical positions at the central office, one being the Human Resources Director, and now, of course, one being the Assistant Superintendent position. We're looking at that with the board. We're giving that consideration as to whether we can go a year without replacing those positions, and if so, how we can do that effectively. So I think it's, again, that multi-pronged approach, keeping in mind that student learning, teaching and learning, and the effectiveness of our school system relative to our students' acquisition of knowledge and their prowess as a learner. That's the utmost important.
One thing you touched on there was the early grades, the kindergarten through 4th grade, and pre-K. I know this year there's a summer program going on new to the district, getting the kids into pre-K over the summer, but before they start kindergarten. And you, many of the other people we've talked to said that's crucial time. We need to get to the students at that point, because you can tell between students who've gone to pre-K and students who haven't when they get to kindergarten. So getting them at that age is very crucial to the learning process.
That's so important, Gary. The emphasis of the summer program is exactly that. We find that unfortunately some of our students, for whatever reason, come into our schools not even knowing how to get through a school day successfully, just in terms of logistics, much less acquiring the knowledge and getting off to a successful start. So this summer program is a great way for us to use some federal money that was given to us to extend the school year and provide an opportunity for some of our very young learners to get a taste of what school's all about before they enter kindergarten. And we have a nice group ready to go. I think we're starting on June 29th. We have the staff selected. And again, this is the inaugural year for this novelty, and I really credit Dr. Lake and previous superintendent Dr. Antonelli for getting this program off the ground.
Now, moving forward into next year, I know when I spoke to you when you were first hired as the assistant superintendent, very key in curriculum and instruction, especially in the high school level. Becoming in a superintendent, what are some of the things now that you're looking at this year to make improvements, maybe change around to start the school year off for the 2015-16 year?
We've made some great strides in curriculum and instruction, and that will continue to be a strong focus, Gary. Mr. Donati and I in particular will keep curriculum writing, curriculum committees active and moving throughout the summer and through next year as well. In addition to that, we know that student achievement, we know we need to get better. That has to be an area of focus for everyone. In that regard, we're going to be, again, making sure our teachers are well equipped with up-to-date curriculum that's aligned with the PA Core, the best resources and materials that we can put in our hands, and professional development to complement the resources and materials. So, we have a great teaching staff, but we're going to continue to get better. And I think that professional development is a real key there. Another focal point will be instructional capacity with our building principals. Again, we have great building managers, we have a tremendous administrative team, but we can all grow as far as instructional leaders is concerned. So that will be a new area of focus that really we started on last year as well. Gary, I mentioned the communication piece. That would be a strong piece. And then as far as me individually is concerned, just strong effort to be visible and accessible, visible in the schools and accessible to all stakeholders.
And I know when you brought up the communications point, you know, we've had parents call here throughout the school year who say, you know, well, something happened at our school and we didn't hear about it. The school didn't place a call to us. You know, you guys have the animated service, you know, and they're hearing it from kids, and they're hearing it maybe from other people in the community. You know, is there more effort maybe going into this year to see if something happens in a particular building, that those parents are notified about it? And, you know, at what point, you know, is it releasing too much information or not enough information? You know, where's that pull at?
Gary, I think there's always that tendency to release too much information, and you create a brush fire, really. But I think parents, in all honesty, I think parents are telling us they'd like a little more communication from the school district. I think their request is fair and reasonable. So we're going to be looking at, I'm going to launch a district newsletter to parents that will be on the website. And those folks that don't have website access will get a hard copy in their hands somehow. I think that would be a good communication device. We're also looking perhaps at putting in place what I call like an alert now service, where I can post a message at the superintendent, or any of the central office folks or building leaders can post a message pertinent to the building or district that parents can receive on their cell phone, their house phone. They can receive a text or some sort of e-alert. We do have the e-alert system. I think that's helping. But I'm not sure that's closing the gap completely. So that's really going to be a strong, again, I think what I've heard from parents, legitimate, reasonable expectation for us to be more communicative.
Well, and I think any strives that are made, you know, are always the best that it can be, and you strive to make it better, you know, each and every day. And when I've interviewed you, when you first were appointed, you said, you know, we're worried about putting the kids first, being open and receptive to all the parents and the public, and making sure the quality education is there. So we're going to be right back with our final break. Stay with us, everyone, in our closing minutes when we come back on Topic A.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available, or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, and outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WILN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Live, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WILN TV 35. See the Major League Stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WILN TV 35. Visit WILNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WILN, your home for live sports.
And welcome back to Topic A, everyone. I'm your host, Gary Perna, and I'm here with Dr. Craig Butler, the Superintendent of Schools. And Dr. Butler, in our last about 4 minutes, 30 seconds here, talking about the positive image of Hazleton area. You know, we hear a lot of people saying, well, you know, they give it such a negative light. But there are some amazing, number one, amazing students that come out of Hazleton area, and I think there are over $1 million in scholarships for students that were just graduated. The teaching staff, you know, amazing. You know, every meeting you guys are honoring teachers for the work they're doing in and outside of the classroom. You know, so keeping that positive energy, that positive flow going, a big priority for you.
Yes, Gary, you summed it up well. Prior to me coming to the Hazleton Area School District, the reputation around the state, quite honestly, is not good, or was not good at the time. And we're looking to change that. Gary, you mentioned it yourself. Every board meeting, we recognize students that have achieved some amazing accomplishments in the school district. You look at our Distinguished Grad Ceremony, you look at the 8th grade awards ceremonies, there's much to celebrate. And I think one of my responsibilities and mission and passion that I have as superintendent is to get the positive out there. We have, as I said, we have many wonderful things happening in the district, and it's a matter of communicating that to the public and making sure that's out in front so folks know. And we celebrate those, and that's part of another emphasis that I'll be working on in the near future, Gary, and that is building staff and faculty staff morale. We ended this last school year, with a kind of end of year celebration where we acknowledged our retirees. We got together as a group, and we really have just a strong focus on the positive. I think it was one of the most outstanding end of the year events that the teachers raved about it. I think it was a real start to that end.
Well, and I know there've been, I can see a gradual increase in maybe the last 2 years or so of talking of the Hazleton Area School District and being more positive. And let me tell you something, some of the principals we go to are champions for their buildings. You know, we go and cover events there, and they are right down in the middle of it, having fun with the students, you know, and also calling us to get the information out that they're having fun programs or the students achieve this. And I think highlighting the positive in any district, any business, is an amazing thing, and seeing Hazleton take such big steps to make sure that happens is really a breath of fresh air.
I think it's unrealistic for us to expect the public to be aware of the good things that are happening in the district unless we do a good job to advertise those, to publicize those events. And we do have, as you know, we talked about the administrative team earlier. I think they're good champions for their school, and we're going to make a concerted effort through the parent newsletter, through media sources, through public relations in general, to share the good news of the district. Yes, we have things we need to work on. We realize that we'll be doing that. But by the same token, we continue to share the positive and really put our students in the spotlight.
I know, and I think you have a lot of work ahead of you, especially in the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months. School is now out. All the work being done over the summertime to make sure the buildings are ready and everything's ready for the students to come back. So, Dr. Butler, I welcome you back on the show at any time. I wish you the best of luck over your course here as the superintendent. You have a handful with this district, and definitely I think you'll do an amazing job. Just seeing the stuff we've done with the assistant superintendent position with you, very open and talking to us all the time. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome on the show at any time.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited about the challenge ahead. Thank you.
And of course, we'll be seeing a lot more of Dr. Butler here, who will hopefully be coming back and talking to us before the beginning of the school year. And of course, he's always on our news promoting the Hazleton Area School District. Thanks for joining us here on Topic A, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. Remember, this is where the community comes to talk. We'll see you next time here on Topic A, only on WYLN. Thanks for joining us, everyone.